again, your girl, Soso. Welcome to all my radio listeners on Liberty 92.3 FM from the north of the island to the south of the island to the east of the island and to the west of the island. How are y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing mighty fine. And hey, to my social media audiences, welcome. If you're on YouTube or on Facebook, I say hello. How y'all doing? Tonight, what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk about, issues, trending, and people are having lots of issues about it. So we are gonna talk about this, and as usual, thanks for the positive feedback that you love Soso Show. Thank you. Soso is just being honest, and coming here and showing you and talking to you about reality, because sometimes a lot of us like to put on like we good, we ain't got no problems. No, we have to face reality and do what is right. I remember I was speaking to you about, going out there and going out there and wanting to have babies or whatever. Please ensure that you do it in the right way, and ensure that you practice safe sex and don't do things that you would regret later and have confusion, that you don't know who is the daddy. You think it's this one, and then this man is saying, I am not the baby daddy. The other man is saying it is not me, and then you are in a tussle. Be very careful, ladies. It always come back to you. It always come back to you. You are the one with the belly in front of you. You are the one that have to go through the 9 months, and you are the one that have to go through the birth. You are the one that have to go through all the different routines. Ladies, protect yourself. Protect your dignity. Protect you. I know some of you find it is so difficult to protect yourself that you feel that, oh my God, I must have a man. I must go and have sex with this man. I must do this. I must do that. The only thing, and you're not even sure, the only thing we have to do in this life is die. And some of us may not even die, and we may be caught up with the Lord. All right? So be careful what you do, and then your life is in a mess. Be very careful what you do. So we are going to talk about the things that have been troubling us as a people. Excuse me. Let us start with the St Jude Hospital. Now people, I know this is a sore point for all of us. I know this really causes us a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, a lot of hardship, because it is going to be like 14 years, and to date, we, the people of St. Lucia, do not have the St. Jude Hospital. And we know healthcare in St. Lucia is not the best. And I have said it before, if you want to know how wealthy your nation is, look at the health of your people. And we are a nation that suffers with chronic illnesses, diabetes, hypertension, and then some of us don't take care of ourselves. We go and we put all those powdery stuff in our foods. Well, I don't do that in your food. When I cook, as I say to you, I use natural seasoning. I do not go get those powdery things and put in my food. We have all these ailments, all these things. You would have expected that is one of the first or the key things that would have been important. And you cannot blame people. And people are getting very sensitive about when we speak about St. Jude Hospital. You cannot get sensitive because people have been longing and crying and pleading. Let us not play politics with the St. Jude Hospital. Let us not come in and say, oh, they just reach, or there's this, or there's that, or there's that. What people are concerned with is having a proper hospital. People don't care who is there or who is not there. People want a proper hospital. And I know that the Prime Minister came to us in November And there was some groundbreaking at St Jude saying it is phase one, right? Saying that it is phase one and they would be, starting the work with CIE, the construction company, which they contracted to finish the hospital. But, and this is why I'm sometimes so cannot speak to St. Lucians, because they're so political. They're so politically blind. All they see is red and yellow. I do not see red and yellow. I see the flag of my beautiful country I love dearly. And this is why I'm able to relate to everybody. I see the flag of St. Lucia. And they came to us and they said that they were in phase one and they were about to, go ahead and start the commencement of the St. Jude Hospital. And I was like, I saw a snippet and I also saw a press release about the St. Jude Hospital, the construction of the St. Jude Hospital. And I was taken aback. And let me tell you why I was taken aback. Because I thought that we were closer to the hospital being finished. Now, people do not want you to say those things, and they believe it is a personal attack on their government. It's not a personal attack on anybody. We have suffered long and hard enough to get a hospital built, a St. Jude hospital. Why are we laboring like this? 13 to 14 years, this hospital. No. It is either the St. Jude ground is not blessed. It is either those political parties or the various administrations just didn't care. Because I cannot understand why is it taking so long. Now, I know some of you will come and say, the last administration wasted money, blah, blah, blah. We all know what happened, but I am moving forward in terms that we have a new administration. And they did a groundbreaking ceremony, had all this person here, that person here, and and they were saying to us that this is phase one, and we will be moving forward with the hospital. Didn't you get? Answer me. Radio land, TV land, YouTube land, all lands. Explain to me. Facebook land. Be honest with yourself. This has nothing to do with politics. Didn't you get the impression that St. Jude was an active construction site? I will be honest with you. This is what I thought. And I was very excited. Oh my goodness. St. Jude is going to be finished by year end or early 2025. But from what I am seeing, it's not going to be finished. And then, people, we have to learn to discuss the issues honestly, without any red or yellow lenses. We have to discuss it. And I believe a lot of people are incensed. A lot of people are irate. And it doesn't matter their political affiliation. Some people will say to you, enough is enough, right? An important aspect or sector like the health of a nation. This hospital should have been finished. We saw where all our monies were taken and the big box was built. And based on what they're saying, it's like $100 million wasted. St. Lucia is a poor country. And I heard a gentleman saying on an interview that he really wants to know all the monies we are borrowing, or the government of St. Lucia, whether it's SLP, UWP, or whoever they are borrowing, how do they pay back that money? Well, my dear, let me say something to you. I had already showed that chart on my other shows, showing you that from the time of Sir John Compton up until now, our borrowing level has increased. And the only reason they have to borrow still is because we do not have gold, we do not have bauxite, we have nada. All we have sun, sand, and sea. So they have to borrow. Small islands, developing states cannot survive without borrowing because they don't have resources. So this is why the World Bank, the IMF and CDB and all of them make monies available to them where they can borrow millions and pay over the next 40 years at small amounts, interest free. So the cycle will just continue and continue and continue. Right? And another government will come and inherit the debt. So every government inherit the debt. Okay, they're recurring debts. So it is not about how they are going to pay it, because we see what happened with COVID. Right? COVID really gave us a hit, a serious blow. So it's going to take a while for them to recover, but I still want to let you know that even if we make a surplus or whatever, we decrease our deficit, they would still borrow. Where are they going to get the monies to run a country? Where are they going to get the monies to run any country? Because we are a small island developing state without any resources. Why do you think we are so heavily dependent on Taiwan? Now, I said in one of my shows that suppose Taiwan is no longer able to funnel us monies because they have issues with China. And suppose war break out and, that's it for us. They cannot give us any money. China take over Taiwan. What's going to happen with us? So what I realize now that our government is shifting to Saudi Arabia. They're shifting. They're looking for monies. But I will show you the video. But before I do that, I will take my first commercial break.
Attention St. Lucia, get ready for an incredible offer from Skybox Shipping. Fresh off the market, Skybox Shipping is here and we're starting the month of June with a steal. Picture this, get a jaw-dropping 50% off every pound you ship with us. Whether it's by air or sea, with Skybox Shipping, the sky is indeed the limit. Located at Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, you can't miss us. Visit our website at skyboxshipping.com for more information. Or, better yet, give us a call at 1-758-572-2277 to speak with our friendly team. We're open from Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. But hurry, this unbeatable June offer won't last forever. Terms and conditions apply. Catch the Sohria Alexander Show on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on 92.3 Liberty FM. This show will revolutionize your mind. Your host, Soso, awaits you. See you there.
Business owners, are you looking for affordable advertising options? Yes, you see, the Sohria Alexander Show has got you covered. Maximize your brand's reach with our affordable advertising rates and reach a wide audience of engaged listeners. Your ad could be featured on our popular show. And we also offer audio and digital TV ad creations, yes, you see? Don't miss the opportunity. Call us now at 758-715-9458 or email us at thesohriaalexandershow@gmail.com to secure your advertising spot, yes? Big or small business, there is something for you. Ho, 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 ho.
And we are right back. And we were on the topic about talking about St. Jude, which is dear to us. And let me just say to you why it is also very dear to me. We always love our grandparents. Yeah, I love my grandparents very much. And I remember my grandmother on my mother's side. She always would have to go to Vieux-Fort. That's the St. Jude Hospital, because I don't know, this hospital was just a blessing with the nurses and with just the health care, the doctors, and she would go down there to check her eye and she even had a surgery there, and we would go with her, and when she's done, either she stays a day or two and then we bring her back home. So St. Jude, I remember St. Jude as a little girl growing up, because my grandmother was from Castries, and then she believed in her St. Jude Hospital, and she would have gone down there. And, I always have this nice feeling about St. Jude because she was always happy with the services that was rendered to her. She was always happy, and her eyes were always better after she did the surgeries and she did whatever. So when I speak about St. Jude, it always brings me back to my grandmother. Check her eyes, check her glasses, do her surgery. So, and my grandmother is dead a very long time now. Very long time my granny has died. And you mean to say to me that nobody, we must be able to say to those in authority, even if we are on boards, even if we are ministers, even if we are this, even if we are that, we should be able to say, I believe we are messing up and it is time for us to do what is right. There are so many things wrong in this country. And let me tell you what some of you do. And I believe some of you need to keep quiet. Some of you do not want us to complain about what is affecting us because it is your government in power. We have a right to complain if things are not right. Because let me tell you what is going to happen. When we complain about things that is not right, and we come together as a body and we agitate and we lobby for things to be done, even you who did not want us to speak or voice our opinion, even you and your family and your friends are going to benefit because we were honest to voice our opinions and say what is wrong. And I will be honest with you that I am disappointed. I was rooting, and not only me, many other people were rooting that St. Jude would have been finished by the end of this year or early 2025. But now we are hearing from the Prime Minister, apparently they don't have money, and they are seeking for assistance from the Saudis, from the Saudi fund. And this is what I keep saying. We need to know, as citizens of St. Lucia, we need to know what is going on in our country. And this is why I am offering the small businesses affordable rates in creating your ads for you, audio, digital, video, whatever. We are offering you that service so that people can know what you are selling. If you have a business and you are not marketing yourself, how can people know what you're selling? How can you increase your revenue? And it's the same thing with the government of St. Lucia. We do not know what is happening. It is all well and good for the government of St. Lucia to have their meeting, their public meeting, and speak to the base, and even to some who may not be in their base and listen. But when you're a government of St. Lucia, you need to have official live LIVE press conferences where you sit and you discuss or you take questions from the media, right? And you answer the hard and difficult questions. And what it would do, it will put you as a prime minister in a very good light, because you could sit there and have a conversation with the press asking you, unscripted questions, the hard questions, and for you to answer. If it's health, you and your health minister should be there, right? And this would have really eased our minds, because I will be honest with you, I was sincerely and truly taken aback. I could not believe that we were looking for funds. I really thought that everything was there. I really thought that we had everything settled. But apparently we didn't. And we need to do better than that. We need to do better than that, St. Lucia. Now, as I said, I am not Grenadian, but I'm always seeing what is happening in Grenada because I follow them. And then when the Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, this guy always have press conferences talking to the people of Grenada, letting them know what is going on. He recently had one where he was speaking about crime and different stuff. We need that audience. And I have been one singing the loudest in the choir, asking the government of St. Lucia to have press conferences to speak to the people of St. Lucia. And let me explain something to you. Not communicating, and this is something I've said over and over again, not communicating brings problems. And when you don't communicate, what it does, it leaves people to assume. You can have 50,000 communication officers, right? But people get the confidence and the trust when things are said from the Prime Minister. Okay, he is our Prime Minister. He did a press conference. He answered the question, or the Prime Minister said that. It is okay that if you ask a question and you do not have the answer to it, to say, I do not have the answer to it. And this is all we want, is honest press conference to be with us. And having press conferences, it would increase your popularity. It's going to increase people listen to you. And I would be able to say, but okay, the Prime Minister had a press conference, about St. Jude. And the Prime Minister said, okay, they're in phase 1. But, right now we have to try and source some funds. We short on cash. But if we were getting updates on St. Jude, like every quarter, right? Every quarter we get an update and we know. But to wait after 7-8 months to say that the government of St. Lucia is looking for monies, right? And the Saudi people came here, the Minister of Tourism, the Saudi Minister of Tourism came here, right? Came here for less than a day, in and out in his jet. And then the Prime Minister is saying that he has to wait 2 to 4 weeks to get an answer because they're looking for money for St. Jude. And what I'm saying, the Saudi guy didn't have to land here. We should have known that. Okay, it's November, December, January. So by February, you give us an update. Okay, we are still waiting for the fencing, or we have gotten the fencing. And we don't want to hear that from your communications officers or your press secretary. Your press secretary can be there. We want to hear it from you. We elected you. The people elected you. Anything coming out from your mouth, people will take it seriously. So you come and you say, oh, we're just in phase 1. It's 3 months. We're trying to source the fencing. We haven't gotten it yet. And then you come to tell the people, okay, we've gotten the fencing, but we have to try to source the monies in order to finish the hospital, equip the hospital, whatever. But nothing is being said to us. People are left to speculate, and I must tell you, I felt like a fool because I'm saying to somebody, oh, no, the hospital is finished because, they're doing what they have to do, and only to find out it's not an active construction site, and only to find out that we are looking money to complete the hospital. And I would really like to show you the video that I'm speaking about.
Yesterday, we had a visit from the Minister of Tourism of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He's also the chairperson of the Saudi Development Fund. He visited St. Lucia basically to have discussions with me on 2 main issues. One, tourism investment in St. Lucia. Saudi investors are very keen on St. Lucia. They see St. Lucia as a very attractive destination. We also informed them of our need to complete the work at St. Jude Hospital. We're very proud of our medical people. They work under horrible conditions. They were very interested, and they thought that our decision to continue work on the original site was a very wise thing to do. And then they are extremely interested in assisting us. As you know, work is going on as we speak, but we are hoping to hear from them, and I'm sure that in the next 2 to 4 weeks I will have an announcement to make for St. Lucia.
Okay, you heard the video. Now what I am going to do, I'm going to ask my producer to play the video again, but I would interject and to just narrate what he is saying and my understanding.
Yesterday, we had a visit from the Minister of Tourism of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He's also the chairperson of the Saudi Development Fund. He visited St. Lucia.
Okay, the Minister of Tourism from Saudi Arabia is also the chairperson of the fund, the Saudi fund. So we are looking for money. So you would understand why I said that the Prime Minister of St. Lucia needs to come to speak to the people of St. Lucia. Because people, what I am trying to make those people understand, you do not work for yourself in a cocoon. You work for the entire country, the entire St. Lucia. So before the Saudi tourism minister came, who is in charge of the Saudi fund, the Saudi Development Fund, before he came, at least the Prime Minister could have said to us in a press conference, you know, people, we really need to get funds, and then we are sourcing funds. We're trying to look at various avenues. If he don't want to tell us it's the Saudi Development Fund, but he could say at least we're trying to look at various avenues for us getting funds. And him coming to do that press conference to notify us, the people of St. Lucia, we already have the ammunition to say, okay, but the Prime Minister told us that. So if I heard something like that, I'll say, okay, but the Prime Minister already came, he did a live press conference, you know, to the people of St. Lucia, took questions from the media, and the Prime Minister was saying, okay, people, we did phase 1, but we need cash, so we are trying to source cash. You know, it's hard time, funding is low, blah, blah, blah. And then we would be able to say, okay, he said that. When we hear that snippet that I'm playing, we'll say, okay, he said that to us. But we are not informed. Knowledge is power. And this is how you keep a country abreast with what is happening.
Basically, to have discussions with me on 2 main issues. One, investment, tourism investment in St. Lucia. Saudi investors are very keen on St. Lucia. They see St. Lucia as a very attractive destination.
Okay, so he said one of the key areas is for them to discuss tourism for St. Lucia. I don't know what tourism investment the Saudi is going to do. I do not know the government plan. So I can't say much about that until we see what they're talking about.
We also informed them of our need to complete the work at St Jude Hospital. We're very proud of our medical people. They work under horrible conditions.
Okay, so they're sourcing them to also assist them with St. Jude. Now, people, if you really look at the video, well, my radio listeners, you won't be able to see it. But if you really look at the video, you're going to see, like, there's not much work that was done at St. Jude. Maybe just the cleanup of the place, but we could see it's the same. It looks the same like we saw it in November. So automatically, there was no active site. The only construction site was only maybe to clean up and fix up, you know, spray, power wash the place or whatever. But the place looks the same. There's no real meaningful, you see no windows, you see nothing, you see no railing. So you cannot blame me when I start to think and ask questions as to what is happening.
They were very interested, and they thought that our decision to continue work on the original site was a very wise thing to do. And then
Okay, the Prime Minister is saying that the Saudi guy is saying, it was a wise thing to do. They're very interested. It's a wise thing to work on the original site. Now, you see me, I just think very deep. What time did he have to think? What documents he saw for him to say that it was very interesting? It's a good decision to work on that site. I think that's playing with our minds.
On the original site was a very wise thing to do, and then they are extremely interested in assisting us, as you know, work is.
And another thing, we heard from the Prime Minister that the Saudis, they agree, the Saudis interested. Why we didn't hear them speak? Why didn't we have, well, it was a private gathering, I guess you have your press people. Why didn't they speak and let us know what is happening?
Then they are extremely interested in assisting us. As you know, work is going on as we speak, but we are hoping to hear from them, and I'm sure that in the next 2 to 4 weeks I will have an announcement to make for St. Lucia.
The Prime Minister said in the next 2 to 4 weeks he's going to have information for us as the people of St. Lucia as to whether, well, he came for tourism and St. Jude, so we need to know. We have suffered too much. We have suffered too much, and somebody have to give us a hospital. Somebody have to give us a hospital. And I'm starting to think that there is some evil force over this property, over this St. Jude. There is an evil force, because I cannot understand 13 years, going on 14 years, this hospital cannot be completed. Then we had a box being built for 100 million with so many deficiencies. What are we going to do, St. Lucia? Are we going to just continue and allow ourselves to be taken for a ride? And I believe we need some prayers. We need some intervention. We need some sort of intervention, because Holy Ghost fire-filled intervention, there is a problem with St. Jude. This ground may be not blessed again. Something is wrong. We had like 3 administrations. UWP, SLP, UWP, SLP. 4 administrations, and nothing can. 2 administrations, well, you can call it 4. UWP, SLP, UWP, SLP now. And nobody can fix or get this hospital done. There must be some evil forces or witchcraft on that property. What more can I say? Because nothing is running, nothing is happening. And it's like every institution in this country where we need the services has an issue. And everybody is quiet. The things we are supposed to be making noise for, we are not making noise. We're making noise for politicians when people say things. I don't care about their politicians. I care about the services, the mandate of any government, what they have to do for the people of St. Lucia. This is where our focus should be. When we have a certain government, we all should come together for the greater good and put the pressure on the government where necessary. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it, my people. You see in all the French people, they don't play. The United States, they don't play. You see how people are very active in agitating for what they want. And you find people from both sides of the political divide come together for the greater good. What is wrong with St. Lucians that we cannot understand? We all have to come together for the greater good. And I believe St. Jude Hospital, that area, I think maybe that area is cursed. And let me tell you, I'm saying it because it has been in my mind for a very long time, because I'm saying to myself, I am saying to myself, how how come this place cannot be rebuilt? So much so, it was left and a box was built, 100 million or whatever. And we, the people, are the ones suffering. This just cannot be right. And people accept all this foolishness. People just accept anything that is given to them. We have another problem in our country. And let me tell you something. It really can get frustrating. It really can get disgusting as a citizen. Now, there are many people in St. Lucia, they do not care which government is in office. All they want is when they require a service, they go and they get the required service. They do not care. But many people have been suffering. Let me tell you something. It's gonna be like 2 years. People cannot get their passports. And I remembered when my passport was going to get expired, my son and my passport. And I decided, okay, our passports are going to get expired. Let me go. And when I went to them, they're saying to me, I need to get an NIS number for my son. Excuse me, that's for my last son. He was just 17 at the time. So I said, okay, we went to get the NIC number for him and everything. Okay. Then they said to us, we need to get the ID. We went, we waited, we got the ID. The lady at the electoral office was very nice. Okay, we got it. I think her name is Janika. That's John's daughter. She was very nice. So then we went back with all our documents signed by the JPs and everything. We went back upstairs to get our passport. When we reached the line, the lady giving me one rigmarole. The lady telling me she cannot accept this, she cannot accept that. I'm like, okay, we went and get the right thing. Every time I went back to that place, it's like you just leave what you're doing to go get that, and it's like you're just wasting your whole day of time. I got so fed up with this nonsense, I said I am not even going to worry about getting any passport for us. Just leave that foolishness alone. Okay? Imagine a passport. Certain places you can travel as you know, other St. Lucians. You can travel within, I think it's the OECS country. I'm subject to correction. I'm not sure for CARICOM, but I know you can travel on your national ID, right? I know you can. But however, if you're going to internationally, if you don't have other passports, or you don't have your St. Lucian passport, you cannot travel. And the insult to injury for me is the casual way. The casual way that the authorities speak about people not having their passports. Imagine saying to people, if you're not traveling or if you don't have an emergency, you cannot get your passport. Now, suppose, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, suppose I have an emergency just came up. An emergency just came up. And I don't have my passport. Air ambulance have to fly me day. What is going to happen? So I have to wait until I get the passport emergency 300. This is madness. Even if, and I think it is very rude to say what people are doing with passport. Excuse me. I could just decide, okay, today, let's go down to Bequia. Let's go there for the weekend. Or let's just go to Barbados for the weekend. You cannot control people's life. It's true you can travel on your ID card, but still you are controlling people's lives by saying to them what you need a passport for. Sometimes you go for the passport when you have the money, and you going back home, passport share, we more share. Passport share. Very, very expensive. So sometimes when you have that little money there, after groceries so expensive, you have that little money there, you're saying, okay, let you go and get your passport. You cannot get. People coming from all parts of the island. In this modern era, we back in healthcare. We back in immigration. We back in everything. I heard a man talking about, going to the licensing office. It's like government in, government out. Nothing improves. We're living in an advanced world of technology. And what are we doing? We're living in an advanced world of technology. And we are so backward. Let me tell you, this is why I keep saying maybe we just need to have ministers of government, young people, all young people working in all different sectors that understand technology. Because technology is there to make your life better, not to intimidate you. And people have been complaining. And I am going to show you that video.
Reports of alleged strike action at the passport office on the corner of High Street and Chisel Street in Castries have left clients irate. Ever since St. Lucia's moved to the new electronic passport system, the island's passport office has experienced many challenges with service delivery. The public has been forced to endure an increase in the cost of the document, prolonged wait times for its issuance, ambiguous operational schedules for the passport office, and clients would have been told that only emergency passports would be processed at an increased cost, only if they provided proof of said emergency, as the Immigration Department deals with a backlog of passport applications. This reality, of course, has left many St. Lucians in limbo as to the future of this important piece of documentation. On Friday, June 2nd, 2023, an intense line of clients to the passport office were met with locks on the door to the establishment, with no sign or explanation from the Immigration Department for the reason behind the closure. One client says the situation has caused her grave inconvenience, and the public is owed an enormous apology for the poor quality of service.
I took a day off today. Today is my vacation day. For me to come down to do my passport, I have somewhere to go. And I'm not sure if the passport office is open or not. What time is it? It's 8:28. I'm not sure if it's going to be open. I'm hearing they're on strike, they this, they that. If you're going to be on strike, Missy, let us know you're going to be on strike, because I cannot just come from all Viewfort, come here, take a whole day. You check it, and I'm going to get nothing done today. What's that? What's that? You'll stay in the buildings, the mold, the this, the that. You check it. And to me, that's just an excuse, because if you're going to strike, we're going to stand up behind you for you to strike. You check it. Fair wages. If you're not getting fair wages, put your feet down. Strike. We'll be behind you, but don't let people tell people you're all striking. You check what I'm telling you. Excuse my language. But I just come right now. There, I feel like my day is wasted. I can't get nothing done. I have to do today. I have to take my vehicle. After it's so hard to get parking. You check it. The sun hot. I have to be walking if that's around my neck. You check it. And I just dare, nobody not saying nothing. People enter in their buildings everywhere. Nobody from the other department not going to come and say, well, you check it, we closed today, so y'all can go home. People just there, they don't even know what to do. They don't have to stay, they don't have to go. What is that?
Recent reports have highlighted health and safety issues at the passport office, with talks of mold infestation wreaking havoc on the work environment. Recently, an employee at the Immigration Department had to be hospitalized, allegedly as a result of these conditions. In a recent interview, Home Affairs Minister Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot said plans are underway to move the office's operations to a more conducive environment. In the meantime, several contingencies have been put in place to ensure continued operations, including a rotation schedule for staff at the department. The outraged client says a simple notice about the office's closure could have saved many of them the discomfort and discontent experienced on Friday.
I listening to radio, I'm not hearing nothing about striking. If I heard it, I would have stayed home. What is that? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm in limbo. I don't know what to do. Somebody tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Y'all could have done so many things. Y'all could have put a note on the door. We're using social media. If somebody fall, let everybody phone out. Say something, do something. As a people, Lucian's time is not to waste, my G. First time on TV, that's how I have to be on TV. I frustrated.
The only piece of information offered to the waiting clients was from a company that offers third-party applications, claiming to ease the burden of the frustrated public.
You know the best part about it? I can get a passport if I pay $350. What is that? What is that? $350. And you're telling me that I can get it. I can get it. Within how many days? Under 2 weeks. So I'm outside of the passport office waiting for me to get a passport, and somebody will pass and hand me this. So I cannot get to enter to do what I have to do, but I have to pay $350. After I didn't even have the $250 to begin with. How much is a passport? $250? I didn't even have that, but I have to find $350 if I want to get it. If I was sick and dying, if my mother was sick and dying, look, I have a friend, her child needs to go, they win a tournament and they need to go, and she don't even know if the child will go. What is that, Messi? What is that? And I'm the only one on TV because nobody wants to be on TV. Nobody will speak up. I'm not a coward. I am not a coward. You all need to fix it. Fix it.
Efforts to contact the Immigration Department on the issue were unsuccessful. The public, however, continues to cry for better service at the Immigration Department as tensions continue to flare with St. Lucian citizens unable to get their passports renewed under specific yet ambiguous circumstances. For the DBS News World, Jason Narius reporting.
I really feel for the young lady. She took a vacation day, and this is what drives me and many other St. Lucians crazy. The disrespect, the disregard for us as a people. We have lives too. There is disrespect everywhere. You go to the bank, you have something. Let me tell you, I had something to do at the bank. I spent such a long time at one bank because I had to go on the line. So the following day, I got through. I spoke to the supervisor at the bank. I couldn't really put pressure on her, poor girl. I spoke to her nicely, and she said to me, she has started bringing this up with HR, and nobody's doing anything. You'll need more tellers, hire more tellers, because you're wasting my time, whereas I have other appointments to go to. Then I came to town, either the following day or whatever. I went to another bank. As soon as I reached it, it's the same foolishness. The lines are so long. I said, no, I am not doing this. I will go. And I went and I came back on another day. You mean to tell me the bank should know when there are peak periods to put enough tellers or hire enough people to do the work? There is no respect for the consumers in St. Lucia. We are consumers, government of St. Lucia. The young lady took her day to come, a vacation day. Imagine people have to take days off. Vacation day, and she still didn't get her passport. Sohria, I got my passport, my son and myself passport, because of links. I got it within days, 2 days, because of links. I do not like to go to links. I like to do my business by myself. But the link offered and say, just give me the passports, I'll do what we have to do. And I got my passport. I have my passport here. And the passport's ugly more than anything. The passport's ugly. I don't like this passport. You see, our first passports, I love them. They were nice, classy. The new ones are lead. You understand? So you understand people's frustration. You really do. People are frustrated. Poor girl has to take a day to come, and then is excuse. It tells me that this immigration department is not being run properly. I know the permanent secretary is the one running every ministry. The ministers just there like figureheads. So what is going on? What is the problem? You mean to tell me it's going to take 2 years? The government is going to be in power July 20 whatever. 2 years. It's going to take 2 years for people to get a passport. And let me tell you, I was downstairs in the passport office, and I heard a man say, "You want your passport?" He said to somebody, just give it to me. You'll get it in a day. If I can get it within 2 days, if people can get it within a day, that means y'all can give the people their passport. What is going on? Is it laziness going on in the immigration office? Is it poor management? Poor supervision? People are fed up. Let me tell you, I will be honest with you, I don't like to go and do anything in government office, in banks, in anywhere. People are just fed up and tired of the rubbish. The disrespect in this country is too much. To us citizens, to us taxpayers. When we go to get things at government office, it's always a nonsense. It's like, we don't care if you, and come election, everybody wants to smile. Oh, we love you, do this. No, we want you to love us now and do what you have to do now. And with this, I will take my final commercial break.
Attention St. Lucia, get ready for an incredible offer from Skybox Shipping, fresh off the market. Skybox Shipping is here and we're starting the month of June with a steal. Picture this, get a jaw-dropping 50% off every pound you ship with us. Whether it's by air or sea, with Skybox Shipping, the sky is indeed the limit. Located at Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, you can't miss us. Visit our website at skyboxshipping.com for more information. Or, better yet, give us a call at 1-758-572-2277 to speak with our friendly team. We're open from Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. But hurry, this unbeatable June offer won't last forever. Terms and conditions apply. Catch the Sohria Alexander Show on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here on 92.3 Liberty FM. This show will revolutionize your mind. Your host, Soso, awaits you. See you there.
Business owners, are you looking for affordable advertising options? Yes, you see, the Sohria Alexander Show has got you covered. Maximize your brand's reach with our affordable advertising rates and reach a wide audience of engaged listeners. Your ad could be featured on our popular show. And we also offer audio and digital TV ad creations, yes, you see? Don't miss the opportunity. Call us now at 758-715-9458 or email us at thesohriaalexandershow@gmail.com to secure your advertising spot, yes? Big or small business, there is something for you. Ho, 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 ho.
And we are back. My people, it is time we arise from our slumber. It is affecting us, not because you may have contacts or not because you may be well connected, for you not to feel the pain of the average man, of the average citizen. It is the average man who votes a government into power. It is the average man, and the average man continues to suffer. No hospital. Passport office is in a mess. Grocery prices off the chain. Where are we going to run to? And this is what any government should do. When you sit or when you come into office, the first thing you do is to ensure the people who elected you and even those who did not elect you, make sure that they are taken care of. Let me tell you, this is going to remain on the minds of the people of St. Lucia for a very long time. The government services, the government offices provide the worst service you can imagine, and people don't care. And imagine you have your business to do, you have stuff to do, right? And they just don't care. It's like, oh, we close. The officers will do, oh, we close. We don't care. Who you? My God, you don't even know what people are going through or what they have to do to show compassion and respect. Or what they're doing with passports. You know, this it's their business. It's very rude and indiscreet to say what they're doing with their passports. You don't know people's future plans or what may happen. You don't even know if this person may have applied for a job internationally, which looks positive, and they need their passport. Excuse me, holding the person back. You know, we have to do better. We cannot say we have doctorates, we have this, we have that, and we only thinking shallow at the bottom of the barrel. People use their passports for a lot of reasons, and even if somebody wants their passport and they don't travel, so what? Yeah, the passport belongs to the government of St. Lucia. We know that. We know that. But if the person wants to have their passport for having its sake, what's wrong with that? People are fed up. And the worst thing, you do not want to have a country where citizens are fed up and frustrated. You do not want that. But, you know, honestly, I for one don't like going to banks, I don't like doing business in St. Lucia, period. You do things overseas and bam, 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 bam. Technology, bam, bam, bam. Here is like you have to go and look for your great grandmother that buried already. Resurrect her. Get the old bones to get anything done in this West. These are the things we have to talk about. But everybody are they glorifying politicians while we, all of us suffering, you know. Whether you have money, you don't have money, or whatever, all of us suffering because it's a service. And even if you have links, it's still not right. These are the things we have to be making noise about. And I'm hoping that whatever curse, whatever spell that is on St. Jude's ground, I am really hoping that the spell can be broken, because right now I'm looking at this from a spiritual point of view, and from where I sit, I see this as spiritual warfare. This cannot be natural. And the spiritual warfare is over St. Jude and any government that comes to govern St. Lucia, because none of them have been able to do what they have to do for St. Jude. Right now, 2 years in, we're hearing we didn't have money. But as I said, if he came to us and explained to us, we would have known. But I believe some serious spiritual intercession need to be done. I believe the Prime Minister of St. Lucia need to get some prayer warriors to go and pray over the St. Jude property. And that prayer warrior also needs to pray over the government of St. Lucia. We have to do better. We have to do better. This cannot continue, because when it continues, the people of St. Lucia suffers. When this continues, the people of St. Lucia suffers. It is spiritual warfare. There's a lot of spiritual warfare going on in this country. And if you are connected to God, you would realize there is a lot of spiritual warfare connected to what's happening. And the enemy is so smart. The devil is so smart. Let me tell you what he has been doing for the past 2 years. He has been allowing the citizens of St. Lucia to fight and quarrel with each other. We need to bring God back in this country. We need to bring God back in this country. And with this, I bid you good night.